10 Mind-blowing historical events you won't believe. Actually happened history is full of secrets, stories so shocking, bizarre, or disturbing that they rarely make it into mainstream textbooks. From forgotten disasters to covert operations, today we're uncovering 10 historical events they never taught you in school. Some of these will leave you speechless, others may make you question everything you thought you knew. The Great Molasses Flood of 1919A. Massive wave of molasses sounds ridiculous, until it actually happened. In Boston, a storage tank holding 2.3 million gallons of molasses suddenly exploded, unleashing a 25-foot wave that traveled at 35 miles per hour. Buildings were crushed, people were swept away, and tragically, 21 lives were lost. The cause? Poor engineering and temperature fluctuations. Who knew molasses could be deadly? The dancing plague of 1518. In the summer of 1518, a woman in Strasbourg, France, began dancing uncontrollably in the streets. Soon, dozens joined her. Within weeks, the number had grown to 400, with some literally dancing themselves to death. Physicians believed it was caused by hot blood, while modern experts suggest mass hysteria or ergot poisoning from moldy bread. Either way, it remains one of history's strangest medical mysteries. Operation Paul Bunyan in 1976, North Korea brutally killed 2 American soldiers over a tree-trimming dispute in the Korean demilitarized zone. In response, the U.S. launched Operation Paul Bunyan, an over-the-top show of force. They sent hundreds of soldiers, attack helicopters, and even B-52 bombers, just to cut down a single tree. The mission worked, and North Korea backed down, proving that sometimes military power is wielded in the strangest of ways. The U.S. government poisoned alcohol. During Prohibition, the U.S. government tried to curb illegal alcohol consumption by adding deadly chemicals to industrial alcohol supplies, knowing that bootleggers would use them. As a result, an estimated 10,000 people died from poisoning. It remains one of the darkest, least discussed chapters of American history. The Night of the Radium Girls. In the early 1900s, young women working in watch factories painted glow-in-the-dark dials with radium, unaware of its deadly effects. Encouraged to lick their brushes for precision, they unknowingly ingested toxic levels of radiation. Many suffered horrific health consequences, and their legal battle helped shape workplace safety laws. Their tragic story is a lesson in corporate greed and human resilience. The deadly London beer flood? Imagine a tsunami of beer. Sounds fun, right? Not in 1814 London. A massive vat in a brewery ruptured, sending 323,000 gallons of beer flooding the streets. The wave knocked down buildings, drowning 8 people. The strangest part? The brewery was not held responsible because the disaster was ruled an act of God. The CIA's mind control experiments. MK-Ultra. The CIA secretly ran mind control experiments in the 1950s and 60s, using unsuspecting civilians as test subjects. People were given LSD, subjected to psychological torture, and experimented on in attempts to develop brainwashing techniques. The program, known as MK-Ultra, was officially shut down, but many believe some of its findings are still being used today. The Cat Massacre of 1730s France. French apprentices, fed up with harsh working conditions, took their frustration out on their master's beloved cats. In a disturbing rebellion, they rounded up and brutally killed the animals in what became an infamous yet little-known historical event. The massacre was symbolic of class struggle, but remains one of the strangest acts of labor protest ever recorded. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops in 1918. The USS Cyclops, a U.S. Navy ship, vanished without a trace in the Bermuda Triangle, taking 309 crew members with it. No wreckage was ever found, and no distress signal was sent. To this day, the disappearance remains one of the greatest maritime mysteries in history. The time it rained meat in Kentucky. Yes, you read that correctly. In 1876, chunks of raw meat fell from the sky over Bath County, Kentucky. Witnesses described it as flakes of beef, and scientists later suggested it was likely vulture vomit. Yes, really. Still, no one knows for sure, making this one of the most bizarre weather events ever recorded. And there you have it. 10 mind-blowing historical events you won't believe actually happened. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more strange and fascinating history.